Hey folks, and welcome to the channel. That right there is the Utah State Capitol building here in a snowy Salt Lake City, and this is me with the brand new 2024 Ford Ranger. And in this video, we're gonna go over everything you need to know about that Ranger XLT right there. Let's start by taking a look at the powertrain. So that right there is the standard engine here on the XLT trim, which is a 2.3 liter inline 4 EcoBoost. That means it's turbocharged. It makes 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque sent through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now this is the base engine in the truck. There's also going to be the 2.7 liter V6 EcoBoost available. That thing is making 315 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. And there we go. So I already said this. This is the Ranger XLT with the Sport Appearance Package. And let me get this out of the way right up top. This is just going to be a walk around. We're just going to discuss the facts of this truck. That's because driving impressions are all embargoed until next week. So make sure you come back on Tuesday, March 19th. And we'll be able to drop our entire review on this truck. And then a little later in the week, we'll have a full video too on the Ford Ranger Raptor. So next week will be a couple exciting videos of the Ranger. But for now, I'm happy we got a chance to get into an XLT, something a little more down market with the base engine, so I can show it off to you guys. So let's go over some of the numbers now. The wheelbase here on the Ranger is 128.7 inches, and that is the only wheelbase available. Overall length is 210 inches, overall height 74.4, and overall width is 86.7 inches. Now the approach angle here on this XLT is 30.2 degrees, which is pretty decent for what isn't really one of the off-road trucks in the lineup. Departure angles at 25.8, and they say that the minimum ground clearance comes in at 9.3 inches. Now let me talk to you about the Sport Appearance Package, which is on this truck. So that brings along these 17-inch gray painted aluminum sport wheels. You get that gray painted center bar on the grille and surround, a gray painted front fascia. You get a sport box decal, which you can see back here. It says Sport 4x4. And you get this molding around the wheel wells here that's also matched in that same gray color. I love the blue on this truck as well. Ford calls it Velocity Blue Metallic. I think it's a beautiful color, and the overall styling on the Ranger looks good to me. Now, one of the interesting things about this truck, of course, is that it's a worldwide product. So the same truck as you see it is sold in many, many different markets. So Ford had to make the styling, I don't know, a little more suited to world preferences rather than just North America. And it totally works for me. I think it's a handsome truck. Still has sort of that Ford family DNA in the front end with sort of the C-clamp headlights that wrap around the grill. That grill bar pushes into the lights there. That's very reminiscent of Super Duty and F-150. So why don't you guys drop in the comments and let me know, what do you think about just the way this new Ranger looks? Let's take a look at the bed of this truck now. So first of all, you do see your 2-inch hitch receiver down there. Max towing on this new Ranger is 7,500 pounds for both the 4x4 and 4x2 models. Now let's go ahead and crack the tailgate, which is damped. That is nice. And this is actually a fairly large bed for a mid-size truck. I think the number that really jumped out at me is between those wheel wells, you have 48.2 inches. So the proverbial question of will a 4x8 sheet of plywood fit in between my wheel wells? Well, the answer here is absolutely yes. And then the length at the floor, Ford lists at 59.6 inches. And yes, this is the only bed option here on the Ranger. There's no other bed and cab available, so this is it. Now I can show you some other features. First of all, over here we got a little power bank. So you get 12 volt and you get a 3-prong 400 watt plug, which is nice. Up in there, you're getting some LED lights. There's fixed tie downs in the front and over here in the back, but then there's also this sort of midpoint tie down right here. And I appreciate that. Having more fixed tie downs is always a good thing. And then you can also see some holes up here in the bed where you could add some more tie downs or accessories yourself, I'm sure. So yeah, it's not a massive bed. It'd be nice to have a long bed option, but still I think the features that are back here are pretty smart. And then on the tailgate, I can also show you, Ford has put that ruler along the edge. So if you're trying to measure something, you can do it on the edge of your tailgate. And then also the C-clamp pockets. So if you do have some wood on here, you can use a C-clamp and actually hold something down that you're working on. So yeah, those are some smart innovations that came to Ford's larger trucks, and now they've rolled out for Ranger as well. Now I mentioned the towing, but let's go look at the payload here on the door jamb sticker. And it looks like we're talking about 1,642 pounds, which on any mid-size truck is a really good number. I feel great about that. And sure, this is just an XLT, so the Lariats, the top trim trucks might not be quite as good, but yeah, 1,600 on any midsizer, that's a nice payload number for this Ranger. Now let's hop inside and I'll show you some features in here. So now here we are in the interior, and you can see this XLT is fitted with the sandstone premium cloth interior, which does look quite nice. The other thing this truck has is the XLT High package, which brings along that big 12-inch touchscreen there in the center stack. Plus we have the advanced technology and towing packages here, with bring along a bunch of features. I like all the towing features in this truck. Right up there you can see you're getting a trailer brake controller, which is awesome. And then what's really cool for the midsize segment is that knob right down there controls the Pro Trailer Backup Assist. Now that's not a new feature. It allows you to use the knob to turn the trailer left or right, depending on which way you turn the knob. But that is new for midsizers, and it's neat to have that kind of technology coming here into these smaller trucks. Now outside of that, when you go for that advanced towing and technology package, you're getting reverse park aid, adaptive cruise with stop and go, front parking sensors, a 360-degree camera, enhanced active park assist, and connected built-in navigation, which is free for 3 years. Now, I might as well spit out the price right now. This XLT, as it sits with all the options, is right around $45,000 US, which actually feels like okay value considering all of the features that you're getting. And I should even mention that both front seats here are powered as well, which is pretty nice. Now let me hop out and I can show you the back seat that I am sitting in. Fordless rear legroom here at 34.6 inches, which is not massive, but it is just enough for me, and I do stand at 6'2". Now one nice feature here, the bottom of these seats do flip up, revealing all kind of storage down there in the floor, which is handy. And then if you don't want to use that, the back of this seat also flips down. And if I folded those headrests up, it would go flat, leaving you with a decent amount of storage space. So that is pretty nice to be able to adjust the seat in both directions. Now I can give you a tour of this fully digital gauge cluster here in front of me. You can see all the different options here, lots of good information. Let's go back up, check out the off-road screens. So you have off-road status, different gauges, and engine info. Let's see what gauges. Yeah, so you can keep an eye on your cooling, on your turbo, make sure everything's running right when you're off-road, running it hard. And then there's also your off-road status screen, so you have your inclinometer. And the one I always appreciate, you can see the steering angle changes, so especially when you stop off-road before you get started again, you can know exactly which direction your wheels are facing. Now, another feature that this truck does have is right down here, and it is a locking rear differential. That's an option that was added to this truck, but it's only about $500 to get the locker, so that's nice. And then of course we have 2 high, 4 high, and 4 low, and that center button is your backup assist. And we have drive modes here as well, which are always appreciated. I can show you those right here. So you have slippery mode, tow haul, sport, eco, and normal. The last thing I want to show off is just a bit of a close-up on all the different materials that are in here and how they all kind of mix and match to come together to give this Ranger a very fresh look here on the interior compared to what it looked like before. Well, folks, we already are coming to the end of this one. Now, like I said, this is just a simple walk around to take a look at this XLT, but very soon we'll be publishing a full review on this new Ranger and the new Ranger Raptor, which should be pretty exciting. Now, for all my Canadians watching, I should spit out pricing for you too. The Ranger XLT in Canada starts at $46,120, and then with all the options you see on this truck in Canada as it sits, this one would probably be closer to a $50,000 or maybe even mid $50,000 truck. And then also for Canadians, I'll just mention, we get 4x4 only in Canada. You cannot get a two-wheel drive Ranger north of the border. So yeah, like I said, that is it for this one, folks. I hope you enjoyed this short tour of the new Ranger XLT. And I want to hear your thoughts, so go in the comments below. Let me know what you think of the styling, the new powertrain choices, the bed, the interior. As always, while you're down there, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, hit join to become a member of Truck King, and then come right back here to the channel to see us finally hitting the road and sharing all of our thoughts on this new Ranger. Bye for now. Thanks, guys.